Recording myself.
Oh yeah, Robin.
And
Do that recording. Hey, everybody, we're on. Hey, welcome.
In 3, 2, 1. Go. Syncing a track. Sorry.
All right, Robin, do your thing.
It's your thing. Oh wait, I don't want to get taken
Do
out.
what you gotta do.
All right, is Kim done eating?
Yes, thank you.
I want to make sure you scrape.
Is that the person who's going to succeed Kim Jong-un? Kim done
You're
eating?
on fire tonight.
Oh, I was like, okay. I didn't get
Merry
it.
Sithmas, everyone. Merry Sithmas.
Nice.
Yes. And Ryan Johnson, we trust.
We'll see about that.
He's got a good track record, so
Yeah, I know. I
I'm
think
excited.
people are going to be a little bit cheesed. Anybody else listening to that guy on YouTube summarize the leaked Game of Thrones season 8 scripts?
No.
No.
I listened to the first one. I'm like, that sounds exactly like what we're going to get. Pretty interesting. Anywho. Yeah, Robin, do the intro. We're live.
You're listening to RedemptionCast, Season 4, Episodes 17 and 18, Inside Out and Shiny Happy People. After Cordy is revealed to Team 8...
I'm sorry, can we start
again.
over? Was that your mic, or did someone else hit their mic?
It's probably me.
Oh.
I'm having issues.
Okay.
Okay. It's all right.
That's all right. We all have the right to have issues.
I'll just start the summary.
Yeah.
After Cordy is revealed to Team Angel as a treacherous, manipulating, naked murderer, Angel attempts to kill her before her baby is born, but he's too late, and as a result of a plan that has been in motion for most of this series, a power that is unleashed upon Los Angeles. And honestly, I felt a lot more at peace with her in the world. It's like all my troubles have gone away, and all I want to do is serve her and, oh yeah, totally murder Fred. Theme music.
That's what the summary says?
That's
my summary.
That would be
I'm
fun.
Robin.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Kimberly.
I'm Illyrio.
I'm Carrie, otherwise known as
Yay.
Iphigenia St. James on Facebook.
Carrie!
Yay!
Thanks for having me.
That other thing you said.
Welcome.
And yeah, here I am watching Shiny Happy People, and I'm like, oh, because the name Iphigenia came up. So,
Oh, yeah.
Is that where it
I
came
think you
from?
can get a
It's a way to
cream for
hide
that.
from my. I just like the name because I teach mythology, and it's a way to hide from my students.
Nice.
All right.
But did it come from mythology, or we were like, I mean, I was just like, oh, she
Yeah,
signed
no,
up for the
mythology.
episode. Okay.
Yeah.
No, myth. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I'm a big mythy.
All right.
Miasma.
Is that the word miasma, or
Yeah,
are
it's
you
one of
talking-
my favorite words ever. I love it.
Yeah, nice.
So
Well, welcome to
we
the
need
show.
to talk about my Lord and Savior Gina Torres.
We don't deserve her. She
I
is
had
the
no
goddess.
idea she was going to be on. I don't know if it's just because I averted my eyes at the appropriate time, or if it was just dumb luck, or if the powers that be sought to provide me with no spoilerage whatsoever. But when I saw Gina Torres, I squeed so loud that because I was watching this on my lunch break at work earlier this week, I was just a little bit embarrassed. Oh my God. These are the moments where the Whedonverse reusing actors is not awful. This is like fantastic.
What was she
so-
used before?
that thing called What's a Firefly?
Okay. Because I was trying to think if she was on Buffy before.
Nope.
But no.
So we've had Summer Glau, Nathan Fillion, and Gina Torres so far. Do you think any other Firefly act? I mean, is there any other Firefly actors or actresses that you'd want in the show?
Alan Tudyk.
Okay.
What's a firefly?
And
I guess it's only
probably,
Illyrio I'm asking this too.
Adam Jerkface. And I think, although she was only in a couple episodes, I always forget her name. She was on Mad Men. Help.
Christina
Hendricks.
Hendricks.
Yeah, Christina Hendricks would be a wonderful addition. As a
Don't
guest.
forget about Marina Baccarin.
Meh.
She's Marina Baccarin to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, Cordy is so evil. Cordy is Connor's such a high school boy getting manipulated by this Machiavellian person who's got his baby inside her. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I,
Baby
know
mama
what?
right there.
I totally glossed over the fact that we got Julie Benz in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because Gina Torres is so amazing. I also didn't know that Julie Benz was going to be on.
Oh, I'm so glad they put her in the opening credits. I was like, "What are you guys doing?"
That's so dumb, guys. Come on, like, is it a do they have to? Is that like a Screen Actors Guild requirement?
It must be.
Who's in the
Yeah,
opening credits?
Julie Benz.
Julie
Well, the
Benz.
guest starring
Oh,
credits.
okay, yeah.
Did you say?
Yeah, not the credit sequence. Or like
Yeah,
the
I
intro
saw her
sequence.
name show up, and I was like, oh, okay.
Damn it.
That was that was some pretty good high tension stuff there, where she's trying to convince Connor to not be a complete dick.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, Cordy comes in and does it for him. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
God.
pretty brutal.
Their evil music that they have every time they have Connor and Cordy.
Oh, I know. That was a
It's
little
very
bit
plink plinky. It's a lot. Yeah.
much. Yeah, I gotta say, I'll admit I have forgotten most of the details of these two episodes.
That's surprising that you haven't like screamed at the top of your lungs at this point. How absolutely fucking right you've been this entire time.
Oh, about Skip. Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Yes.
I gotta tell you, it's because I just about 45 minutes ago finished watching Shiny Happy People, and I was I love Gina Torres so much. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to gush. Anyway, I'm not gonna gush too much. It would be inappropriate. But when she's sitting
It's
down,
okay. When I saw her, I screamed out Jessica from Suits. That's who she is.
I'm sitting there watching the iPad, and she's sitting with Fred in the bowling alley, and her lips are perfect. And they're shiny and perfect lips, and I could totally see myself, bending the knee. But yeah, yep.
And she's Cuban.
Yeah. So I'm totally legally allowed to visit her family if she wants me to. Buffy Summers in the chat says, first time I saw Gina Torres was on Alias as Ana Espinosa. Love that show.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
good stuff.
Nice. I gotta say, I told you so.
Yeah.
Skip was not okay. Skip was a jerk face all the time, and he tried to dupe Cordy once, and then she didn't bite, and then he got her again, and then she did bite. So was he played by a different actor this time?
No, and that's something that's actually come up before.
He looked or sounded different. Maybe
I
the
wonder if he had new
costume?
dentures or something. Because I thought he was very like shush, 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 shush.
Yeah, and it almost sounded like he had a bit of a southern accent.
And that was David Denman, who was surprised and very excited after learning that Skip was actually a villain.
That's awesome.
And it's proven like you're like you could be like you suspected him from the beginning, and he admits that he has been a part of this entire time, ever since Billy.
Yeah,
he threw the fight.
Now, I really only suspected him when we had the Cordy show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think that was the same episode that we first saw him.
No, yeah, we saw him in Billy, the flaming prison. You didn't suspect him back then?
I don't think so. I think it was really only the Cordy show one. The name of the episode escapes me.
Is that birthday?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I gotta say, I know a ton of people who watch Angel and Buffy, and I've never come across anyone who didn't like. So listening to you guys, and I'm like, whoa, he's seeing something that nobody else has ever seen. That's interesting. He's gonna love this episode. Vindicated.
I loved it.
I was so
I
excited.
think you mean Justified.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never forget.
We need a justification here. Yep, he's a fan of buffalo wings. Which is pretty interesting.
I gotta say, now that I know that I am correct and justified in thinking that Skip was evil, I do so love his banter. It really is wonderful to have that kind of recurring, or have had that kind of a recurring character. But yeah, it's just so great, and that fight was awesome.
Oh, and Angel uses the chains to beat him down finally.
Yeah, he is so memorable. That just like nonchalant, just that what do you call it? Just
Charisma.
Yeah, and just
his delivery was really
his
cool.
delivery, yeah.
I liked him.
Yeah.
Deadpan.
I also love
That's the word I'm looking for.
Deadpan.
Yeah.
The fight scene with him and Angel was amazing, and I'm not a fan of slow motion, but it was done very well. That I was just like, that's so cool. And even in the end, when Cordelia was having her little walk off, I was like, because usually I hate walk off in slow motion. It's just like a eye roll, like, come on. But with the music and just like how she was glaring from side to side, I'm like, this is good.
Yeah, it's Stephen DeKnight's first directing job, and he said,
and
thanks
he wrote
to
it too.
WB. Yeah, he wrote it and directed. He said, "Yeah, thanks to WB for this $1.5 million student film they let me direct."
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
Ashley in the chat says, I was 12 when this aired. Imagine the confusion of a 12-year-old me seeing Cordelia give birth to a fully grown, tall black woman.
And speaking of Stephen DeKnight, like he does like flip a couple of like Whedon rules on its head. I mean, the whole blonde girl in an alley actually gets attacked and murdered. And also, Skip comments on how guns rarely work, and they never work in the Whedonverse. Well, this time Wesley pulls off the one shot in a million.
God. Taking the sexiest man alive persona one step further.
Yeah.
He's a perfect shot.
Yep.
A real rogue demon hunter.
With leather chaps.
So
found Skip's Achilles heel.
Yeah, his missing spur.
Carrie, Achilles was a character in.
Actually. Oh gosh. So I wasn't a big fan of how everybody was tipped off on Cordy, or at least Angel was, because Cordy happened to use the not very often used term "my sweet."
That's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah,
that was a stretch.
It should have been her bad acting.
Well, I think they
Yeah.
I think they kind of were planting seeds, because in the next episode there was something I was just like, okay, I kind of see what they were doing, but we'll get to in the next time, but or the next one. But I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. It was a stretch. I agree with you guys though.
And they go through and explain a bit about what they kind of figure out what Cordy's been doing this entire time after Connor rescues her. And it's very interesting watching from like spin the bottle on Cordy's behavior. And I don't know, sometimes you can see there's something going on there, and then sometimes it's like it's Cordy. And so I'm not entirely sure if they had this planned out all along or had it planned very successful. I don't know if they were thinking, well, maybe she'll be like possessed some of the time. From the way they talk about it, like the whatever is inside Cordy, whatever's been pulling the strings the entire time has been pulling the strings like the entire time.
Well,
It's a little weird.
yeah. The fact that we hear from Skip how long ago all of this was put into plan. I'm going to ask a potentially spoilerific question, which you may have already answered.
Yeah.
Have we seen the last of Wolfram and Hart?
Do you want me to answer?
No, if it's a spoilery thing. If you feel it's a spoiler, then no.
Well, I can't like.
And
I mean,
Sort of.
the answer is
Sort of.
knowing what's coming up is the
Mhm.
spoiler. So
Okay.
I mean,
So-
if you want me to say yes or
That's
no, I
fine.
can.
It's okay. So what I'm really getting at is it really I felt really ripped off that we had all this energy and time and
Well,
Daniel Day Kim invested
Yeah.
in Wolfram and Hart, and it turns out that no, it's just this other thing
Mm.
planning
well,
all
it's like the
of
whole
these
tail
things.
section of the plane.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
I get it.
Everything was predestined in this series. Everything.
So Darla getting it on with Angel, all that jazz.
Gunn's sister, Lorne leaving
Yeah.
Pylia, Fred opening a book, everything. Even Wesley sleeping with Lila.
Mhm.
Everything's been
Yeah.
planned out to get two
Well,
vampires to have an impossible birth to create a vessel.
I think that's just
Which I love
justifying
that
some
callback.
mistakes that they made.
I think
love
we
that.
call this in mythology. Don't we call this retconning?
Yeah, right.
Something like that.
Don't we call
I
it?
love that
retconning in
callback to the
mythology, by the way?
trial. Say that again.
Is there retconning in mythology?
Yeah, in a way, certainly.
Okay.
I would say so.
Are you
Awesome.
saying red conning?
Yeah, that's a bigger
Retconning
conversation.
is going back on kind of redoing the past in
Okay.
sci-fi
Oh.
specifically, but
Retconning.
yeah, retconning. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were saying like red conning, like
Yeah, it's
red
more
herring.
of
No.
all of the heroes tell the stories like the fish was this big, like they constantly redo history to make themselves look a little bit better.
Got it.
And so it brings up a conversation about free will between Fred and Gunn. Now, does anybody have that as their quote? Because I would like to read this to you.
I don't have any
No.
quotes.
No.
But it would be nice if you played Rush Free Will at the end.
Oh, jeez.
Well, it's okay. It would be nice.
I'm just going to ask you if a normal person talks this way. Here we go.
Yeah.
The final score can't be rigged. I don't care how many players you grease. That last shot always comes up question mark. But here's the thing. You never know when you've taken it. It could be when you're duking it out with the Legion of Doom or just crossing the street deciding where to have brunch. So you just treat it like it was all up to you with the world in balance because you never know when it is.
Let's see. Okay, and she says, and Fred says, you've been practicing that in the mirror or something like that. I mean,
Okay, so we're sort of taking that he's actually, for some reason, had a discussion about
Were I to
predestination.
have been there, were I to have been present for that soliloquy, my response would have been, I'm not feeling it, dog.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he did a good job delivering it, but
Mhm.
it's just too writerly.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah, really.
And they probably knew
It's-
that. That's
it's
why
her
she called them
idea.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hanging a lampshade on it. She was hanging a lampshade
Right.
on it. But this whole thing about this has all been set in motion since the beginning, and I just feel like they're not smart enough to have made this work.
Well, clearly it wasn't the case, but it's kind of cool that they,
They tried.
they picked and chose little things that would fall in line with that idea, and it's cool. It's a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce says, Wesley.
Yeah, I love.
No, you go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. I love that they went all the way back to the trial, that episode where Angel saves Darla and they think they failed. And eventually they know, no, you won a life. It just didn't come into fruition until much later.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like the connection back to that.
It's very cool. Yeah, they get more into it in the next episode with Jasmine's discussion with them, which we'll talk.
I mean, I'm still trying to get over the meaning.
Sorry, skipping ahead.
That's okay.
The last shot always comes up question mark. Like, you lost me there. You really lost me there. Yeah.
What does Bruce say?
Bruce said, Wesley,
Bruce.
what we already knew, what he found out as Angelus, all the circumstance led to you. I guess that's the pointing out to Cordy that how they found her out or how they discovered her.
Right.
Yeah. I got to tell you, there's so much in this episode that was feeling super slow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Cordy and Connor and, you know, waiting for this thing to be born. Like Connor, that's super slow. Connor dipping his hand in the blood of the innocent and making Wilson out of Cordelia's belly. And then, I mean, guys, Angel done goofed. He had the time to chop her head off, and he apologized first. You apologize after.
Well, what did Wesley do? Wesley took a long time to do it.
I suppose.
Yeah, in their dismembering basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so much surprise in this. I was very surprised that they killed the girl. I was very surprised that they didn't magically pull a lever or use magics to poof this thing out of Cordelia. Very, very surprised that it actually did pop out.
Explain to me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, and just very surprised that, oh my God, we actually have now a new twist.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new big bad, and this big bad is Gina Torres. And yeah.
Totally where did Darla come from? Cordy kept saying that this is your mother, that this is your father doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Please explain.
What did I miss? I thought it was the powers. I thought Darla mentioned it was the powers.
There's a good couple of explanations. On the text, this is a message from the powers. This is Darla is sent by the powers to try to talk Connor into, doing the right thing. I saw a theory online that what if this was the first? Like the first was like, listen, I don't need a freaking goddess coming down fucking up my plans. So let me see if I can use the ghost of somebody dead to talk Connor into not doing this.
That's funny.
Interesting.
I love that whole scene. I have a quote from Julie. We know each other by first name. I loved the dynamic between the two of them talking about Darla and Connor. Darla really is the mother who gave up everything for her son, and he doesn't appreciate it. The pure love that exists in a relationship between a mother and son, it's an unconditional love, and it's probably the most simple relationship Darla has ever had. And they said that they had her wear of course she probably saw the soft virginal dress, and then having her face be on the girl that Cordy kills. But I liked her talking to him and reminding him that he actually has a soul, and that she died to give him life, and that it wasn't to abandon him, but to do one last thing for good.
I like that she wasn't really Darla. She was a human, I guess.
Yeah, she was
right.
She was purposely dressed the same as the girl, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was like in white, and Cordy was in black.
Mm-hmm.
The contrast to show good and evil.
And the scary thing when Cordy actually sees her. And
that was very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the fact that they could go through killing this poor innocent girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad Connor doesn't do it, but I would have really appreciated, would have done his character a little bit more good if like he was under some sort of spell and not just,
Mm-hmm. Well, I just thought it was awfully
Hot recording spell.
convenient that this virgin was waiting outside of the dark alley for Connor to get her. And I was just like, oh.
She wasn't waiting. She was going to be bitten by a vampire.
But I thought, because it was so convenient. I'm like, is this bait? Is this not real? But then again, I'm always trying to think 2 steps ahead, which is my downfall when watching these television shows. And I was just like, okay. I was like, okay, SOD for this little bit.
I like how they mentioned, like, Connor is just confused again.
And I get
In
it.
his defense, and I'm not a huge Connor fan, but he grew up in a hell dimension. He's manipulated by most people. Is he really going to change heart in this one frenetic conversation back and forth between Cordelia and Darla? Yeah, he's a confused kid, and so I wasn't surprised that he let himself be used.
It's just so disappointing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So.
And he loves to flip. He does a lot of unnecessary flipping.
Tuck and roll, baby. Tuck and roll.
I don't know if you noticed that first scene. Yeah, he comes out of the window. He does a unnecessary flip and then starts fighting.
I thought you were talking about flipping
superhero.
Sides. Physically flipping.
You're good at flipping.
Yeah, tuck and roll.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good.
So yeah, Skip's dead, and yeah, Cordy doesn't get blown up by the birth of this woman. Luckily, she doesn't explode into like somehow like there's green smoke and boop, the baby's out and it's full grown and it's Gina Torres.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably weren't surprised when Angel just dropped to his knees and said, "You're beautiful." But yeah, what a twist!
Did you feel instantly that she was evil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you feel that she had them under a spell?
I don't know about spell, but definitely definitely this idea that we've been told all along this was going to be a horrible thing.
Yeah.
So that's that's the page I'm on when she pops up, and then when I see it's gorgeous, beautiful, perfect Gina Torres, it's like, oh yeah. Everybody's no, and then at first I thought, all the guys are going to be manipulated, but I was surprised that it was everyone.
When Fred too, yeah.
Oh yeah, and if our hero,
what?
Scary.
Your mic is where now? What?
Son of a gun! Hold on.
Ooh. There you are.
The dresser. Anyway, I was saying, if she can control our hero, then that's scary.
Yeah. Because he's smitten.
He sure is.
And he won't be the one to save the day.
Right.
Yeah, so I kept...
We'll see.
Oh, well, we're not there yet. But yeah, so the next episode, I was very curious as to who was going to, something. So I had all kinds of thoughts there.
So we should...
I was on the same page as you, though, Lyra. I thought, all the men are going to be under her spell.
Yeah.
I was, because whenever there's such a beautiful woman like that, it's usually like, they're playing to the male ego and all that stuff. But the Fred stuff threw me for a loop. But anyways, I digress.
Do we have anything more do you want to say about this episode before we get into ratings and quotes? And I got a little bit of feedback. No.
I liked it. I like this stretch that we're on. So
it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. I do. Again, I'm not a fan of Connor, but
this is a divisive episode.
He wasn't. He didn't get on my nerves. I actually felt a little bit sorry for him because I'm just like, this poor kid, literally.
Mhm.
This poor kid has been taken through the ringer, and I was just like, I felt for him this episode, whereas other times I'm just like, let's get rid of this guy already. We're done with
Right?
him. But yeah, I felt it was. I was. I kind of wished I didn't know Darla was going to be in it because I kept looking for her. I'm like, how's she going to show up? Is she going to be evil? Is she going to be? But yeah, I liked it.
Were you guys I don't know. Did you guys enjoy seeing the little flashbacks of how Cordy pulled off the different things that have happened throughout?
It was very Clue-like.
I was just gonna say it was just like Clue.
How could she have? Well, of course she didn't. She was naked when she killed that whole family. So
yeah, talk about jumping the shark. That was awesome. That's for all the before Twitter. Or when is this there?
03?
Okay, yeah. So before Twitter and everyone nitpicking all the little details, right? How come she didn't have any blood on her, huh? So
there before.
And it shows how she made Lauren think that Angel or Angelus was Angel again.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff. Yeah, murdered all the priestesses.
Yeah,
the whole murdering of Manny. So she did drug Angel. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Sometimes you kind of see that and you're like, okay, I guess I'll just go along with it. But
yeah,
it seems like you guys were satisfied.
I truly enjoyed it.
Cool. How about I read? Let's see. It's Ray. Ray actually has commentary on both episodes, so I'll read his one for Inside Out, and Bruce actually has feedback for both, so I'll wait till the end for that. Ray says, while a lot of this episode is explanation, and that can sometimes get a little boring, I think that this was pretty well done because it answers questions that the viewer has had this whole season. The pieces have all finally come together and everyone is in the loop and ready for this final stretch of the season. After a lot of fun detours like Angelus and Faith, we finally have our big bad for the season. Even though I'm not much of a Connor fan, the pull between good and evil, Darla and Cordy, does hit with some emotional force because of how well it was set up. Turns out that Skip was evil the whole time, but he's still a lot of fun. R.I.P. But at least Wesley gets to have a cool action hero moment by rolling and then shooting Skip. My one main complaint is that I don't like them retconning basically the whole Angel series and large chunks of Buffy. To say that it was Jasmine's plan this whole time and was manipulating everything that all the Angel gang did their whole lives. So I ignore that part of the explanation. So
cool.
That's what he has to say. Yeah, that's why I think it is kind of divisive. Some people don't, or like, wait a second, are you really telling me that, none of this meant anything,
I just feel like
this amazing speech from Gunn.
Life is meaningless.
There's a more there was a more clever, wittier way to do it than how they did it. Or I just keep thinking that it could have been done better.
Amazingly, Jasmine isn't, fessing up to being responsible for Angel's beige period. That's a glaring omission if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
Yeah, but what's so funny is nobody likes Connor. Have you ever heard anybody say they liked Connor? But on
not so much.
All these commentaries, all these writers, directors, they love Vincent Kartheiser. Vincent Kartheiser is such a great actor. Vincent Kartheiser does this, he does that. While we're shooting Julie Benz, he's off, out of the camera. He's crying just to give her something to work off of, and that's not hard for him. The hard part is this for him. I'm just like, you're the only ones that like him.
Well, there's a difference between
Nobody
the
else.
actor and the character. I'm sure Vincent's a great
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad actor. But
It's just
I don't
amazing
know,
the
guys.
difference
Yeah.
in
I'll say
how
this.
they see him and how we see him.
I'm more sympathetic to Connor than Don.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know if I agree.
Dawn got better. Dawn got better at the end. The beginning
I
was
guess
tough
we'll-
with
yeah.
her screaming.
Get out, get out, get out!
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, get out, get out, get out.
That way I don't have to do it.
Pummel.
All right, do we-
That really makes me laugh.
Do we want to rate it now?
Yeah. Hey, Carrie, you go first.
Sure. I really liked it. I thought the retconning, it still worked for me in that Angel is such an angsty existential character of life is meaningless. So it works. It works for me. I gave it 8 out of 10 spheres of infinite agonies.
That was almost my rating system.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice. I thought it was wonderful. This would have been an 8 out of 10, but I'm going to give it 2 extra points.
Whoa.
2 extra. I was right all along points. So I'm giving this episode 10 out of 10. Who's right about Skip? I was right about Skip.
Kim?
Kim?
Uh-oh.
Here's Steph. You go. I'll send her a text.
Okay, I was just gonna say I give it 7 out of 10. It's fine. There's something about Stephen DeKnight's writing that I just don't jive with. I don't. What do you call it? Jihad with? I don't know. He's so
Jihad with?
jihad. What do they say? What's that word?
Jive.
They say? Something about, I don't know. He's okay, but he just doesn't. Maybe he fits more with the Angel verse than with the Buffy verse, but it's fine. Like I said, they could have made this whole thing better. This whole explanation. It's just a lot of exposition and explaining. So I give it 7 out of 10 virginal sacrifices.
Is Kim back?
Just send her a text.
I think so.
Oh, hey!
Hey!
Sorry
What are your
about
thoughts,
that. I don't
Kim?
know what
What's your
happened.
rating?
I enjoyed this episode, but everyone was touching on, it was a lot of explanation and justifications and this and that. But I didn't mind it. I honestly didn't mind it so much. It's just anything to progress the story forward, and I'm glad that we didn't get like a dud of an episode to be like, ugh, just to fill time. So I enjoy it. I'm probably gonna give it. It wasn't my favorite, but I was just like, okay, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Crazy bright light births. I don't know. I've lost my train of thought, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I dig this episode for the most part. I would say take away a point for how easily Connor's manipulated, and how many scenes of just Cordy being obviously villainous, and Connor just being like, I'm not sure she's a total villain or not. She wants me to murder an innocent person, and Angel's the bad guy. So I'm taking away a point for that. And I think there was another thing that I wasn't a fan of. Oh, I guess taking away a point. I'm taking away a point for, the whole predestination thing. It works, but it's like I'm not exactly happy with it entirely. I wish I was like, oh God, yeah, that's right. Oh my God, but instead I'm kind of like, oh, that's what they're doing.
All right. Yeah.
So I'm giving it 8 out of 10 unemployed Firefly actors looking for a job.
Stop.
Hey, that's what we thought. You could always let us know what you think by sending us an email at
RedemptionCast@gmail.com.
You can also check out the Facebook group. That's facebook.com/group/potentialcast. We're also on the Twitter, making full use of 280 characters at RedemptionCast.
We don't have that yet.
If you want to download previous...
You don't have a Twitter?
No, we don't have 280 characters yet.
Everyone does. Everyone does.
RedemptionCast didn't.
What?
I was going to tweet the entire theme out yet last night, and I
Oh,
was
you
very
didn't
upset to see it said 140.
That's sooks. Oh, wait. What are you using to tweet?
The Twitter app.
That's weird. It's not just a little circle that fills in as you type?
And it's like that on my account. So I just flipped to the RedemptionCast account.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
If you want to download older episodes, and I haven't really had the time to redo one of those feed things for last season, I don't think. So maybe some gaps. I'm going to see if I can work on that. Probably December 2000 and never, but we'll find out soon enough. There's
right.
always redemptioncast.blogspot.com.
Let us know. We can probably Dropbox it to you.
Let's see about quotes.
Oh, hold on.
Who are you calling on first?
I think our guest, Carrie, should go first.
Okay. This is a skip line. Nobody comes back from paradise. Well, a slayer once.
Oh, there's my number one.
Oh.
I also have a skip quote.
Oh,
Well, that ain't right.
I have a skip quote.
oh.
Well, now, this is just embarrassing. Tell me what happened to Cordelia, or what? You'll bleed on me some more?
It's my skip quote.
I have a skip quote. Look out. The monkey's thinking again.
Oh, I have a related Cordelia quote.
Oh, come on, Robin. We could have run the table.
I'm sorry, I don't have any other skip quotes, but it's a related Cordelia quote. Anointed? Who's been filling your head with big, confusing words?
Yes.
That was great.
I have one more quote. If this is a Fred and Gunn. Fred says, "We don't know what Cordy's baking in her oven." And Gunn says, "Evil and pregnant? You can bet it's not cookies."
It's just awful.
I also love
It is
Lorne
awful.
saying Cordy just, he says Cordy just wahaha'd at us.
Yeah.
Yes.
You saying Pop and Mama threw you a beating? Kid Vicious did the heavy lifting. Cordy just mwahaha'd. Yeah, that's the full one.
Yeah. Nice.
Kid Vicious. Oh, that's great.
Oh, sorry, I was getting ready for Shiny Happy People.
I'm sorry. I just saw it in my notes. How many chunks do you have to hack off a vampire before he goes all dust bunny?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Shiny Happy People holding hands. Not playing that song at the end, I promise.
So
It's too easy, eh?
Too easy.
I watched this episode not long ago today, and almost nothing happens in this episode.
Right? I don't have a lot of notes.
Almost nothing happens. We have people gushing all over No Name. We have the worst reboot of The Big Lebowski ever. I was hoping one of the vampires would look like the Digis. That would be awesome. So bowling alley vamps. We got a really cool like chase behind like the back where all the pins get that stuff.
Yeah.
We had everyone kind of surprising. All of our heroes are under her spell or enchantment or whatever. And then some rando comes out and tries to kill her.
Sam Witwer.
That's Sam Witwer.
What? Who?
Sam
I love
Witwer.
Sam Witwer.
He's in what?
Sam Witwer.
What's he in?
Okay. He was in The Mist. Him and Frank Darabont are buddies, and because he was in The Walking Dead early on, he was like inside the tank.
He was supposed to get his own episode. Yeah.
Do what? He was supposed to get his own episode?
Yeah. The American Being Human.
Yes. Smallville.
I mean, I've heard his
I
name.
wasn't going to say it.
Oh, wait. Who was he in Smallville? Because I've never watched that show.
Dooms.
Oh, well, we got a podcast for you. It's called We Don't Want to Wait. And Steph and I are binging through the entire series.
Listen, guys, I haven't even watched Stranger Things season 2 because I've been so busy with trying to find time to sleep. So my day off tomorrow is going to be #NoPants, #Netflix, why the snow so early.
Speaking of, totally side noting, if you guys want to watch a great series on Netflix, watch Mindhunter.
Oh my god, it's so good.
So good. Okay, that's all.
Obsessed.
Did you finish it?
Yep.
Yes, like in 2 days.
Yeah. I've never been like. Okay, well, no, it's not a podcast for that.
Yeah. So Gina Torres is gorgeous. Gina Torres is really good at playing benevolent, mysterious character.
I have a
Do you think she knows? Fred can see her true self?
I don't think she realized. Otherwise, I think she would have put pieces into play.
Fred did a good job at covering it up. She took her hysteria over her and turned it around so she'd just get out of the room. I actually have a little costume designer note about how they dressed Jasmine, the woman who will be known as Jasmine. Shauna Tripkick, the costumer, who, like Gina Torres, came over to Angel after production wrapped on Firefly. With Jasmine, it was great because I already knew her body, so I started doing sketches immediately. We just made it all about all of her stuff because she has sort of a figure model's body. You can't just go shopping and throw something on her. She's very thin and very narrow and just has a perfect body. Showrunner Jeffrey Bell said, Oprah Winfrey. What he meant by that was someone who all of America could relate to and would love. So we were kind of going Oprah Winfrey in a very elegant, very fashion model way.
I thought that too because when she was walking, I guess, through the courtyard and those people were eating outside, I was like,
oh yeah, you're right. She started saying, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car.
But I was like, how are they going to have her speak to the masses?
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, okay, she's got to be on television. I was like, oh, wouldn't it be like crazy if she turned into like an Oprah? That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Are you saying Oprah's real face is full of maggots?
You said that.
Because I always thought so.
Blasphemous.
Well, I can't wait to I kept expecting it to be explained why Sam Witwer and Fred, out of everybody, were the ones that saw her real face.
They got the call.
Either you guys put it together?
They got the call.
What? They got the call.
He said that. He's like, we got the call too, or something like that.
Oh, the calling.
Oh, he
like
does
there was
say
a
that.
call.
Yeah,
but I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, that's.
That could be.
They're going to explain it in the next episode.
It's you. If you pay attention, you can see how it happens here. Do you guys? Lirio, did you have any?
Pardon? Can you repeat?
Did you know why Fred and Sam Witwer were the only ones who could see her real face?
No.
No.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I just won't say anything then.
It's okay if you can. I can go back and watch and see what I missed.
It's not too spoilery, is it, Steph? I mean, I think it's...
No idea. I can't remember.
Can I guess?
Oh, really? Okay, wow.
I don't think it's spoilery.
Can I guess?
I think it's fine.
Okay, please guess, yeah.
My guess is because they're both washing things.
Oh, is it because of the blood?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's her blood.
Yeah.
Fred is washing the shirt with the blood on it, and that shirt had blood on it because that vampire scratched her, and then he had like blood on his hands.
Yeah.
And when he got somersaulted over that table onto Sam Witwer, he like ended up scratching his chest. It's really quick.
Yeah.
But yeah. And that's when he starts freaking out.
But I did notice that he had blood on his shirt when he was lying down on the edge of the fountain.
Yeah, that was the scratch that he got from
By the
vampire.
way, I'm really disappointed they didn't go all in and have Angel like throw him in the fountain and beat him up in the fountain. Like, if I were directing, that's where I would have asked them to go.
Would you play the Friends theme?
Like, beat him up but not kill him.
Yeah.
That's what you mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
and
because
like
of his all of his makeup. They didn't want
and
to
like
get
almost drown him and everything, you know.
prosthetics.
Yeah. Okay, so here's some of my notes from like the beginning. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy that Cordy just deflated and didn't explode. I love the fact that Connor says that Angel's pretty much been like weeping all the way back to the hotel because he almost killed.
I find it very creepy when he calls him dad.
Oh, it's the grossest.
I still find it so gross.
So disgusting.
Even when he's sincere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Angel's so happy. It's so funny to see. And like
And
he's
he's
wearing
worried about it.
pastels. Like he's so happy.
I love it.
That white and yellow striped shirt
It's so ugly.
was ridiculous. Oh my god.
You know, he got a job serving ice cream, right? That's his new job now. Eradicating evil and serving ice cream. So there's a lot of talk about the jasmine flower, and that's where she gets her. Like, did they say that her name's Jasmine at the end, or she?
Yeah, when she's introduced on the TV
At the
show.
end.
That's right. Okay, I was like, am I spoiling that?
No, I think
there's
she
some
has jasmine in her hair.
Yep, that's true. So in the trial, the episode where Angel goes through trials to save Darla, and then we find out that as a result of that's why Connor gets a life later. Darla talks about the smell of a jasmine flower in that episode. Also in I Only Have Eyes for You, the Buffy episode. Drusilla smells a jasmine flower and marvels at it, and Angela says night blooming, and when Angel and Jasmine are talking about it in the courtyard, Jasmine says night blooming back to him. So I thought that was a cool callback. But I love how like they bring Cordy up, and it's like the manger scene. They put her in the bed and they're all huddled around with candles as Jasmine tells them the story of where she came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's not here to save everybody. You guys are.
Listen. I'm surprised that she didn't come out and call herself whatever Jesus would be in the feminine form. The whole idea of, we were here before man, and it's like I expected Gunn to say, "You're a dinosaur." I'm only saying Gunn because Cordy's asleep.
Divine.
Pardon?
Oh, I'm sorry. She's definitely the feminine divine, whatever you want to call that.
The goddess figure. Although, I mean, I've seen
Yes.
plenty of little goddess figurines in my university archaeology days, and they're not built like Gina Torres.
No. No,
Gina
not so
Torres
much.
is
No.
not built like a
Yes.
goddess figurine in the
No.
slightest, or she's too slight, to put it another way.
Yes.
But,
She
There's
looks
a-
exactly the same now as she does in this episode.
yes, it's amazing how we allow androids to play roles on TV.
Another thing that's an interesting connection to me I thought of was that she is like she basically they basically figured that she was a power that was a one of the powers, the gods, what have you, that have been behind the scenes, and now she's here to affect things, and that she's essentially a goddess. And that there's a kind of a connection to a Buffy villain that was the same kind of thing. She was a goddess as well, and she had a habit of sending people to the psych ward that got too close to her.
Are you saying there's a connection between Ben and Jasmine?
I was
like, where's he going with this?
I just have to say, as a longtime listener, that always makes me laugh. Every time you guys say that, I always chuckle.
It's funny to think of. Yeah, it makes me laugh, and I'm the co-host.
Yeah.
For now.
So, thanks. So Wesley and Gunn are now united in their love for Fred.
Okay.
That creeped me the heck. Ugh, sorry.
Very
Okay.
awkward. Very,
Yeah.
very awkward.
I was thinking, are we going to have like a commune situation happening in the next scene? Because I'm not about this.
You get a friend. You get a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, fucking Wes. Doesn't he know snitches get stitches and wind up in ditches? What an asshole.
Yeah, but that just shows the complete power that Jasmine has over him, that even though he would trust Fred, he would listen and respect anything that she said, he is completely 100% under her spell.
Oh,
Creepy.
Yeah.
I love this so much. It's such like a paranoid thriller that it turns this show into. You know, it's Invasion of the
Yeah.
Body Snatchers. I love it so much.
Right. Especially when they first see her and you think Wesley's going to be the holdout, and then he kneels.
He bends the knee in the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I think Gina Torres could conquer Westeros with 0 dragons. That's my position.
Yeah.
yeah, and it looks like vampires and demons are kind of they might be a holdout too, because she immediately sends Team Angel out to just eradicate evil.
Okay, so I guess her play is to get everyone under her spell and then just mass sacrifice of the planet? Like, is that the game? Because it can't, like, if she just wants destruction, she just let the vampires roll. So my guess is everybody has to kill themselves for her to attain true ultimate power.
Yeah, I don't know. And she knows everybody too. She like calls that woman by her name.
No. What was it, Margaret?
Margaret, yeah.
What an old woman name. Her
That
name
was,
is
that was
Maggie,
actually-
not Margaret. Wait till
was
you're in
at
your
it,
40s.
Annie Wershing. She was in 24.
Are you mispronouncing washing?
It's WERSE.
Okay, good. All right.
I don't know. What'd you think of Jasmine's maggot face?
It really, really startled me. I was not expecting it.
Me jump too.
It was
I
awesome.
was like, ooh, that was a good effect. And then I realized, oh, it's just like a puppet. I'm like, okay, that's it's fine. But at first I was like, ew. But
Yeah. Very gross. Very surprising.
gross.
Especially juxtaposed to how beautiful Gina Torres is.
Yeah.
Like, that is the last thing you expect. Yeah. Ooh, gross. Very. Did anybody? Are you guys? Have I made you guys aware, or have you independently been aware of the anti-meth ad that ran many years ago, where there's a woman and she's like on meth and she's cleaning her house, and there's a really kind of like Dolly Parton-esque song. Look at me, busy as a bee.
No.
How do I get this energy? Ooh, meth. Ooh, meth.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's a Quebec thing.
So no, it's not. It's American. I'm gonna post it on the
Oh
Facebook
my God,
group.
please find it.
The reason why I mentioned this is while Fred was scrubbing, trying to get the blood off, I started humming, "Ooh meth, ooh meth." I got the cleanest house on the street. Meth, ooh meth. Yeah. So that's basically the tune that came to
I
mind.
thought she was going to scrub so hard that we were going to see her like go insane.
Yeah, which we kind of did.
Yeah.
I think she was on her way, and then all of a sudden she got a wake-up call. Now, interestingly, the way they did the cuts, and I know I'm skipping ahead somewhat, but the way they did the cuts, there was Gina Torres, and then there was Fred, and then Fred looks weirdly at her, and then we see Jasmine's true form. And then we cut back to Fred, but then every time after that, it cuts back to Gina Torres rather than the puppet. So
yeah,
are we?
I think it's because the puppet was a bit unrealistic after the initial shock of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to stay on it too long.
Yeah, kind of like the polar bear in Lost. Spoiler alert.
And it could be like a standards and practice thing, because
it was really gross. Maggots.
it was
gross.
Network told them to when Jasmine exploded out of Cordelia's stomach, said don't show too much blood, or don't be too gory. They didn't realize it was going to be a bunch of lights.
That's how both my kids popped out, just a whole bunch of lights.
So Fred tries to talk to an unconscious Cordelia. What is going to wake her up, you think?
A kiss from an angel.
Oh my God. I can't believe you just said that.
Or Connor.
Why? Were you going to say that?
No, that's just supremely lame. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. And I like this conversation between Fred and Angel, just trying to get him to see what's going. There's something weird going on here, and he talks about how it's just a relief not to question anything anymore.
And even though it's so false, it's just so nice to see him happy for what he's such a mope. Right?
Yeah.
It's like such a delight.
He was smiling.
Yes, we never see that.
So what did you guys think of Sam Witwer's face, John Stoller's face?
Pretty awesome.
That
was tough.
That was great.
Well, he knew something was going to happen when he wouldn't turn his face.
I forgot about that too. I was like, why did they direct him just to keep staring away from Fred? And like, oh, that's why.
I have to say those restraints don't look very effective. He was able to practically sit up.
Yeah.
Not cool, guys. Not cool.
And yeah, just the paranoia here, like the Fred on her own, and he's like telling her not to trust anyone and that they're chosen. It's just
that was weird. So I wonder, I wonder why he got all like, this is a calling thing. I don't know. He must have some kind of history. I think Fred's on the right track. Asking him if he has any priors, any pre-existing conditions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the whole tension of her going back to the Hyperion Hotel and all those people are there.
Oh my God. That place was happening.
Yeah.
But why did his face get all buggered up like that?
Because she touched him. Because
she's been touching other people and they're not getting weird unless we see later.
Early in the episode, it looked like she was gonna touch Connor's face when she was saying that she needed him, he was special, and she didn't quite touch his face. And I noticed that. I thought it was odd.
Because I noticed when I guess I'm looking too far into it, but when she was walking down the stairs at the hotel, she grabbed the guy's hand to help her down the stairs, and I was like, "Oh, how come his hand isn't burning?" But then I was like,
Probably
"Okay,
continuity
probably
error.
SOD."
Yeah.
Yeah,
She could be affecting that
True.
power.
Right.
She could be doing
Yeah.
that with her. Like,
She could be in complete control.
but
Yeah.
if that's the case, then she did it on purpose to this guy.
yeah, nobody's going to take him
Right?
serious with that face.
Well,
Oh,
he did just try to kill her.
Yeah.
true.
So there's that. She might be a vengeful Jasmine.
So,
Thought
yeah.
she was a Jasmine. Turns out she's much more Jafar.
Oh my.
Nice.
Thank you.
And everybody's the Sultan. All right, 2D.
Please play Sultans of Swing. Thank you.
So Fred tries to assassinate Jasmine, and we get the classic slow motion jump down from the balcony.
For
As
both Angel and Connor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And
So
so Fred has to
protect
take.
their granddaughter and daughter.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh.
Fred taking Lauren hostage, and then like
Yeah.
him talking about how his race is detachable head slaver.
Oh my
Like,
God, that was so funny. I totally forgot about that.
I did too.
I think everybody forgot about that, and they added it as a tagline later.
But yeah, I don't know, the whole scene in the diner, where you see she's about to talk on Good Morning LA, and Fred's just alone. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Guy like walks by the diner and then looks to the window and then gets on his knees.
Are we going to see like some gory reveal when everyone sees her true self? Like it's just going to be blood splatter everywhere so everybody can see her?
I don't know. But how many episodes are left? 4?
4?
There we go.
Yeah,
44.
this was a really good Fred centric episode. Gunn
Yeah.
got an episode, and
I
Yeah,
honestly wasn't expecting it to be a Fred episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was writing in my notes as I started watching this. It's been like a year or so since I watched this, and I was thinking, like, why are they having Fred talk to Lauren about what's already happened? Like she's just like anticipating Angel coming back and then going through it all, and I'm like, oh, because we're going to see more of her point of view, and they just kind of wanted to establish it at the beginning.
Did it strike anybody else as weird the way Lauren was reacting? Like he had no memory of any of this stuff? I was getting the impression that he was like fuzzy on the details. I don't know. It was weird.
Remember what stuff?
At the very, very beginning when she was, it sounded like Fred was being Ms. Exposition and Lauren was like catching up, but he's already aware of these things. It's weird. Hey, we have a comment in the chat. Debbie Sib says, I like this show, followed by RedemptionCast is good shit. I agree with you. We are good shit. We're not that awful shit that you get from the guy down the corner. We're the good shit you get from your uncle who works for Health Canada and tests the stuff. There you go.
I actually have to go get my power pack. So
What?
Vamp? Is that the right thing to
I
say?
always knew he was a robot. I knew it. Battery operated too. Yeah, so this whole episode, I didn't really strike me as a Fred episode. There was so much going on. But yeah,
well, I
then
think
she
it's
goes
leading
off
into
and,
her next episode.
Yeah. Which I
For
don't
sure.
know. I think next episode is all Cordy. Unless they're gonna wait and have us
It's Fred.
wait until the finale for Cordy to get up and smack her daughter upside the head.
I totally think it's Fred trying to get everybody to see if she's that she's not crazy and
For
this
her
chick
sake,
is evil.
I hope it's all about Fred getting the fuck out of there. Which is what I thought she was doing when we saw her driving after the failed assassination attempt.
She got hungry.
She just went to that place where her and Gunn had pancakes.
Oh no, I don't think it was. Was it?
Kisses.
Was
I
it?
don't know.
Because
I mean,
I can't believe you just said that, Steph. That's awful.
didn't
You
get
had to be
pancake.
reminded.
Yeah, she got bacon and eggs, and they weren't even like over easy.
Well,
They were,
he
like,
said
really
some. There was some talking about eyes, and they cut to 2 sunny side eggs up. I was like, oh, that's cheap.
No.
But
But if they wanted us to think that it was the same diner, she should have sat in the booth all by herself. Anyway,
You got to see this.
I do have what I hope is true. I have a theory. That outside crane shot where we see Fred walk away, hungry, and Mr. Briefcase look in the window. There's a stoop later on. I think that might be the outdoor set they used for Seinfeld.
Jeez, I don't know.
So that would be really awesome because those steps look really familiar. Anyway,
You can see the exterior of Angel's old office. You can see the exterior of Angel's old office down the street. Yeah. But I don't know about Seinfeld.
Well, I know that don't they use a lot of sets that is supposed to be New York?
Yeah, well, this is their New York. This is their New York set.
Totally.
Yeah, so it's got to be the Seinfeld exterior that we get to see.
Yeah, it could be.
It's the How I Met Your Mother one too, for sure.
All right. Anybody want to say anything else about the episode before we? I
thought it was good. I thought it was a really good setup for what I suspect the next episode will be, just because of the way it was, the cliffhanger was.
Everybody kill Fred.
Poor Fred.
Want me to do feedback?
Sure.
Yes, please.
The rest of Ray's emails. This episode almost feels like the movie Get Out, where things seem too perfect and everyone is too happy. I kind of love that everyone just assumes that what Cordy gives birth to will be this terrible house spawn, and what we get is the exact opposite. That's a nice twist that sort of uses the audience's expectations and subverts them. Things are so perfect that it gives the viewer an unsettling feeling that something isn't right. You know that Jasmine can't be that perfect, and you wonder why everyone is acting this way and what will break her spell. It's kind of fun to see everyone acting out of character, but that underlying feeling that something isn't quite right is always sort of just sitting in the air. It feels completely different to anything that Angel the series has done in the past, and I enjoy that. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And let me read Bruce's email. There's a lot of talk, but most of it is worth it. Things needed some explaining, and so they did. I guess it wasn't really Cordelia doing those things recently, or at least not all of those things. Real Cordy seemed to show up occasionally, but mostly she seemed a little off, like someone was trying to act like Cordelia.
Mm-hmm.
The more times I've seen these episodes, the more appreciation I have for the long-form storytelling that's been going on since season 2. From Angel and everyone else being a puppet in the play of powers from other dimensions in season 2, episode 1, Judgment, to episode 5, Dear Boy, when Lorne tried to warn Angel about pursuing Darla, I set people on their path, he said, and Darla was way off Angel's path. Since then, every major storyline, with the possible exception of Pylea, has come about because of Angel disregarding that advice and pursuing Darla. Mm-hmm. The Troclon prophecy is first mentioned in season 3, episode 7, Offspring. That's the confluence of events that leads to the purification and or ruination of all mankind. The arrival of Jasmine and everything that preceded it fits the description much better than anything which came earlier. Heck, maybe things are still coming together. The description is very dire but vague enough to mean just about anything, so it's nearly perfect as a long-term storytelling device. 3 questions. Was Jasmine responsible for all the things she and Skip mentioned? Maybe she just took advantage of some of those events for her own ends. Does Lorne fall under her spell because his morals are more aligned with humans, or does it have anything to do with him being from Pylea? We don't see any other demons falling down to worship Jasmine.
Not yet.
Yeah, that's true. I was
the
thinking
vampires
about.
didn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
I
Angel
was.
did.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I
but
was
he
like,
has a soul, right?
he has a soul. So.
Yeah, I hear that's a thing in the show.
What?
The final question. Will this really be the end of Angelus? Soon, quote, even the evil that's inside you, that too will be gone, according to Jasmine. Run, Fred, run. Bruce. Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce. Well,
Want to rate this?
yeah. Carrie, go.
Okay. I really like this episode. I also am a big fan of Gina Torres. This is the beginning of an arc that I really enjoyed. I also got to give it to David Boreanaz. I thought he did a great job with the self-loathing and how scared he was to want to be happy. That whole scene he has with Jasmine talking about, that he's the one person that can't be so happy and dealing with that. And yeah, I like this one very much. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 shiny happy people.
Don't make me happy. You wouldn't like me when I'm happy.
Yeah. Yes.
You know how I do it? I'm always happy.
Yeah.
I thought this episode was great. However, not a lot happens. I really felt bad for Fred, especially at the end when she left without eating. I mean, come on,
She needs a sandwich.
He needs a freaking sandwich and a half. Gina Torres might as well just come out as a goddess. There is so much that can be said for her presence, for her delivery. It's just, man, like if I had the time, I would just rewatch Firefly right now. And I know it's not a lot of episodes, but just can't find the time. So I'm gonna give this episode 9. 9 out of 10 maggot infested bloody heads.
I also really enjoyed this episode. I usually don't like setup episodes, but I enjoyed it. And I thought that like right at the end when the credits came up, I was like, oh, the episode's over. Like I was so into it. I wanted to see more. And I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen with Fred next episode. What else did I want to say? Yeah, like you said, I think a lot of stuff did happen.
Yeah.
It was kind of slow at the beginning, but then I thought we got a lot of information about
so much slow-mo. Maybe that's what's giving me that impression.
Maybe.
Oh God. Yeah, we didn't say much about that action scene as everybody's just murdering vampires around Gina Torres and Fred just walking is so awesome.
Because I loved everything in the bowling alley because I pretty much grew up in a bowling alley, and I was just like, here we go. It was quite fun. And what else did I want to say? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't like over the moon with it. But I again, momentum's driving us to something that I hope is going to be a good payoff. So I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Oh shoot, I lost my rating. 8 out of 10. I'll come up with something witty in a minute.
Okay, I enjoyed it too. Also, brain shutting down right now, but oh my gosh, I've lost my train of thought.
Choo choo.
I think it was a good upbeat change of pace after that real heavy episode last time. So it was fun, but still, such a threat for Fred. So scary. for Fred.
Yep.
Like,
Oh,
who's
what else?
Gary?
So I give it, I don't know, like you said, not much happened. 8 out of 10 morning show appearances.
Nice. Oh, I should have said a 7-10 split. Damn it. Oh.
It's not too late to change your vote.
I have to change my rating system then.
No.
Oh, damn it.
I wrote it in ink. I'm just kidding. I wrote it in Excel. Yeah, I really dig this episode. Poor Fred, poor Amy Acker hasn't gotten a lot of great stuff to do on this show yet, but I really think this is like one
Because
of
they usually have her reacting to guys. That's why.
yeah,
She
exactly.
had one good episode early on. I remember thinking
her intro there,
Uh,
Fredless
Fredless?
Yeah.
with her parents. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
She hasn't had a lot to do. She's been punted between Gunn and Wesley and all that nonsense.
Yeah, because I don't. The thing is, maybe it's because I don't physically think of her as a strong character because of, again, her size and how frail she looks. But when she does stuff in her own way, like she's got the book smarts and like this and that, it's good to see how her shine that way. So hopefully the next episode, it's her doing maybe some badass magics. We'll see.
I hope so.
Anyways.
And she's the inventor too.
Yes.
Billy. Yeah. So
Fred
she's got a couple of tools in her
MacGyver
belt.
Burkle. Sorry.
Burkle. So yeah, it was good to see Fred, and like it's so cool. Like we're getting towards the end of the season, and they're like, let's let Fred like be in the spotlight for a little bit here, and how interesting it is to like not have this like super powered vampire be the one person that can see.
Mm-hmm.
It's Fred. What's she gonna do? And just the paranoid thriller of this all, and I love Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's the whole kind of thing, and yeah, Get Out is definitely a good one to think about. So I don't know. I get really amped up by the end of this episode, so I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Wasted plates of breakfast. And okay, so Inside Out got an 8.1, and Shiny Happy People got an 8.6.
Interesting. Wonderful. Let's do quotes.
Hi. Yes, I'm looking for a man. He was brought in Thursday named Stover. Are you a family member? Am I? Yes, I have a family. I'm a member. He's my father. My brother's father. My father's brother.
I was like, that nurse gave her too much information. The nurse wouldn't do that, right, Stephanie?
Oh yeah. Well, but that back then that was before HIPAA. Now, we have HIPAA now. Now it's our responsibility to keep people from murdering people.
Mm.
Hungry
Good for
HIPAA?
you.
Yes.
No. Kind of mocha.
Yeah. I can't believe Fred's evil.
Yeah, and that's another part that was interesting about this episode. How, just because somebody's against you, does that, that makes them evil?
Yeah.
Yes.
In their frame of
Because
mind
you're
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to see them just, that's like the talk they had about Cordy in the episode before, We're going to have to kill him, And now it's about Fred.
Shoot, I don't even know context this in. I wrote Connor, and then I wrote, oh, that's what Cordy used to say to me. I don't remember what it's for.
I have a Connor and Gunn exchange. She's amazing. You'll go nuts. Yeah, that'll definitely help us relate better.
Wonderful. I can't wait. Hey, what's on the slate for next time, Robin?
Oh, I can't do my other quote.
Nope.
Yes, I can. Diner guy, here you go. Looks like you just lost your best friend. All of them, I never thought, yeah, well, that's life in the big city. All right, on the slate next time, we have 26 episodes left in the series, 4 episodes left in the season. The next episodes are called The Magic Bullet and Sacrifice. But there's no sacrifice.
I have a magic bullet. It's horrible.
Yeah. No, ours is awesome.
Yeah,
Mine
we're
is
on our second one.
terribly.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Ours is fantastic. We use it every day.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe mine's like the amazing bullet. That's why it's not the
That's
real
why.
thing.
Also, is yours spelled with a K and an S? Is it the Magic's bullet? Because mine is the Magic's bullet. You should have gone to Giles's Magic Shop. To buy it. That's where you went wrong.
Yes.
Always go with British engineering. Okay, so predictions. The Magic Bullet. I really hope it isn't some stupid literal title and someone Fred develops some magic bullet thing and shoots Gina Torres, Jasmine, and then Sacrifice. Cordy dies.
Aww.
Cordy dies. Cordy dies.
I hope she doesn't die.
Cordy dies.
It's not. It's too early in the season. If she was going to die, it was going to be the finale.
Nope.
I don't know.
I hope it's Connor who dies. Oh, that'd be the best. He
Okay.
sacrifices himself,
Because
and
he's so
then
mature.
Angel is forlorn. Or maybe it's they have to get rid of the love triangle, right? Wesley dies.
No,
I
no
changed
main
my
character
vote.
is going to die in the next 2
Wesley dies.
episodes.
Really? You don't think so? You know this is a Whedonverse show.
I think if one of them is going to die, it's going to be towards the end of the season.
All right. I'm a leaf on
There's
the
too
wind.
many episodes left.
Oh.
There's 4
Too
episodes
soon.
left.
Sorry, Carrie.
Yeah, like I mean, it's going to be the actual finale. That's what I mean.
Okay.
All right.
Ow! Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped a pencil and I stupidly squeezed my legs together to catch it. I caught it.
In your thigh.
I caught it. Thank you for joining us, Carrie. Is there anything you'd like to plug or announce?
No, I don't do any podcasts. But if anyone wants to take a class in humanities or mythology, come on down to Winter Haven, Florida at Polk State College, where I teach. And we can, talk Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
My asthma
Thanks for
is
having me.
growing. You're more than welcome. Thank you for being so patient.
Yeah, this was what, a year?
I was going to say, how many years have you been waiting?
Yeah, a long time we signed up for what was available. And actually, I really like these 2 episodes, so I'm glad to be on
Yay.
Awesome.
That's good.
now. Yeah.
So if any of you live in the Northeast, specifically around me, there's snow coming.
Yeah, there is.
So good luck. I hope you can find your muckluck and your snowshoes. So yeah.
It's coming tonight.
Better not come near me. You guys keep it up there.
Okay, we will.
Yeah, for
Yeah, we're
Carrie
in the
and I,
80s.
We'll keep it
Yeah,
right
we're
next
running-
to the Freedom.
We're good.
we're running the air. We're still cutting grass.
Yep.
Shut up.
Condition for life.
All right. Take care, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Namaste.
Hey.
Bye.
Hey.
And gonna click the stop